the sermon, obviously you're talking about Matthew 5 and being salt and light. And so could you just explain a little bit of like what those metaphors mean and how that applies to us as the church?
Yeah, well, light expels darkness. I mean, and darkness is not a creation; it's an absence of light. And so, really, what the light metaphor is pretty self-explanatory. Light is easily seen when it's in a dark area. That's what the text says, that a city set up on a hill cannot be hid. I mean, if you're a lidded city up on a hill, like, it's kind of hard to hide that. And so what Jesus is saying is that as Christians, we should our presence should light up our community. It should be something that adds value. Salt's kind of the same way. One thing salt does is it seasons, it enhances the flavor. And so both salt and light can be used, that our presence in our community should enhance. It should make our community a better place. It should dispel some of that darkness in our community and some of that evil in our community, and it should make it a place that that is better because of our presence.
Yeah. Well, and with what you're saying about like the darkness doesn't exist, it's just the absence of light. I think there's a convicting part of that of, if we are like concerned with how dark the world is, maybe that's a sign that the church isn't being the light like it should be.
Yeah.
And so if it's darker than it should be, maybe it's because we haven't been the light and been shining that brightness to the community.
Yeah, and I said this in the sermon on Sunday, that I think oftentimes Christians can have a well-meaning but unfortunate idea that we're kind of supposed to be reporters in the world instead of changers of the world. And what I mean by that is, I think sometimes Christians sit around and we just diagnose the state of the world, like, oh, it's a bad place. So can you believe what law passed there, what law didn't pass there? Can you believe how our school systems are doing X, Y, and Z? And we sit around and we just report upon the condition of the world, but that's not, if you just walked into a room and you're like, oh, it's dark in here. Why is it so dark in here? Well, instead of turning on the light and, just expelling that darkness, and I think we need to remember, yes, it's good to be aware and to talk about the condition of the world, but we're not just put here to talk about it, we're here to do something about it.
Yeah, and we're the only ones that have the real power to do that, not in ourselves, but in the Holy Spirit, in God's power. That same power that lived in the early church lives in us and is working through us.